Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you are being safe in the house as the lockdown period is going on. And this videos, what we teachers are uploading, we are expecting the same positive response from you all. And I hope you all are going with our videos. I also know that it is not like a same class lecture what we are giving to you all, but it is a short videos what we are sending. But it is a humble request, when you are seeing the video, please go through it, open your books at the same time and revise with it. So today we are going with the poetry part, class 9th, that is the first poem, The Heart of the Tree. Seeing this picture, I hope you understand the poem name is Heart of the Tree. And that is the reason I have showed you this picture. Why this poem is called as Heart of the Tree? Heart. What is the purpose of the heart? It circulates blood. It keeps us alive. Same way the heart of the tree, it means the tree's benefits, the nature what it gives us, and how we have to treat the nature, how tree are important for us for our survival and helps in the development of future for the benefit of mother earth. So here we are with this poem, The Heart of the Tree, by Henry Siler Burner. You can call him H.C. Burner. Now children, this Henry Siler Burner, he is an American poet. And as an American poet, he had a nature to appreciate the trees not only for their aesthetic value but also for its human welfare. He really loved the nature. He used to write many of his poems regarding this, and his poem usually describes the innumerable benefits of trees and the shade and shelter they bring to all life. He claims that people who plant trees plant for a future, and for people they do not know. And in this poem, he is symbolizing an act of goodness of a human who is planting a tree. And this act is making the tree to grow with all the goodness, not only for itself but also for the surrounding. Now children, you can see this poet, when he go through this poem, he go on with telling us the various benefits of tree. The outline goes like that: this heart of the tree consists of 3 stanzas, and each stanza contains 9 lines, and it has a rhyming scheme like A B A B B C C A. Like that, the rhyming scheme is there, and that scheme make us to go on with the rhyming form. For instance, the rhyming words in the first stanza are tree free, sky high, and I, bird heard, harmony tree. Like that, it goes on. Now, when you will focus on this poem, you will see the most important qualities of a tree. At the same time, the quality of the person who is planting it. It is not only just you plant a tree and leave it. You have to go on nurturing it like your parents nurture you from the time you are born. Same way, when you plant a seed, when you sow the seed, you have to give it a proper care. You have to water it. You have to give it a proper shade so that when it grows up, it gives you the benefits. The same way, when you children grow up, you will give that same benefit, that same comfort, that same care, that same love to your parents. Same way here, the poet says that when you plant a tree, you always plant something different. Now let us start the poem. What does he plant who plant a tree? You will see one thing, children, in this all the three stanza, it start with a question. And the question is, what does he plant who plant a tree? And these kind of poem where the questions arises repeatedly, that is known as rhetorical questions. The same question starts and the poet himself give the answer to that question, and that question implies, that is giving us the emphasis that how important planting a tree is. Now first extract, the poet says, he plant a friend of sun and sky. He says here that one who plant a tree, you can see here, he plant a friend of sun and sky. Not only a friend, he plant the flag of breezes free. When you plant a tree, you make it as a friend to the sun and sky. You give the full proper air, the proper breeze, the shaft of beauty towering high. And when the tree grows up, it becomes beautiful. How it gets beautiful? When the flowers are there, the beauty arises. He plants a home to heaven and I. And when the tree grows so up, it is like a connection from home to heaven. For song and mother croon of bird in hushed and happy twilight heard. The poet is saying this tree also give place to the mother bird to lay the eggs for its children and to also have a happy and prosperous life ahead for the young ones. The treble of heaven's harmony, these things he plants who plants a tree. Now in the first extract, the poet says, first thing, when you are planting a tree, you are making a friendship of sun and sky. Second, you are creating the flag of breezes, that is wind. Third, you are giving the beauty which goes so high. Fourth, you are connecting a plant, a home to heaven and I. Fifth, you are giving the place to the bird, the mother bird, to stay there with their young ones. And overall, you are creating the harmony, that means the peace in the atmosphere. And these things he plants who plants a tree. So the poet says, when you plant a tree, these things are the thing what you plant. Second extract, he further says, again putting the rhetorical question, what does he plant who plants a tree? Again putting emphasizing and saying that he plants cool shade and tender rain. When you plant a tree, you are planting what? Cool shade. You are giving the benefit to have rain and seed and bird of days to be, and years that fade and flush again. Now what the poet saying? When you plant cool shade and tender rain, it will bear seeds and breads for future. And after years that fade and flush again, and after years it will be destroyed and the new one will grow into a excessive forest. Now once the tree grows, you cut off the parts, people destroy it, but again if you destroy, you have to plant it again. You have to remove the bad leaves, the bad part, but you have to make it grow again and again. He plants the glory of the plain. When you are planting a tree, you are giving the benefit, the glory to the plain area. He plants the forest heritage. You are not only giving glory to the plain area, but you are also planting the heritage of the forest, the harvest of the coming age, and it also provides crops for the coming generation. That joy that unborn eyes shall see. It means the symbolic way the poet tells here of birth, death, and regeneration. When the child born, when he opens up the eyes, he will see the greenery all around. That joy, that nature's joy, will fill that child with more pleasure. These things he plants who plants a tree. And in the second extract, again he is telling the benefits, that you plant cool shade, you give tender rain, you and seed and birds of day, you are making planting seeds. Years after years it fade, again it grows up. You are giving glory to the plain area. You are planting the forest heritage and making the harvest for the coming age, the crops for the future generation. Now, in the third and the final extract, again giving the same question, the poet here becomes more philosophical and he says again, what does he plant who plants a tree? Now, he's saying the person who plants a tree plants it with what? He plants in sap and leaf and wood, in love of home and loyalty. The poet is saying when he plants the tree, he plants the food, the leaf and the wood. This all thing is planted when you have the love of it, when you have the loyalty. The simple example, children, when you are staying at home, it's a very good time when your full family staying at home, when you are together. Why you are together? Because it is the love and loyalty what your parents, what your grandparents, they have made that house, not with anger, not with adamant nature, not with stubbornity, not with fear. They have made the house with love, with determination, with loyalty. And the same thing they are bonding, they are putting it on you all. So that is the reason you all are staying with full love. And if love is not there, it will not be called as a home, it will call just a house. House means just a building. Home means the building consists of people, the family. The family makes it a happy home. Same way when you are planting a tree, it has the sap, it has the leaf, it has the wood. And when you plant, it grows with the love of home and loyalty. You should be loyal to each other. Same way when you are planting the tree, you should be loyal to the nature. You should love it and far cast thought of civic good. And you must always be concerned not only for yourself but for the society. We people are very selfish. We think only of ourselves. But we have to first of all think of the society. Here the poet saying you have to concern for the future. His blessing on the neighborhood. And when you do this, when you plant it, you will only not get the blessing, even the neighborhood will bless you. Who in the hollow of his hand holds all the growth of all our hand. Here he says the man's hands hold the future progress, the mankind. It is only we human being who can hold the future. We human being can only make the barren land fertile. So hold all the growth of all our land. Our nation's growth from sea to sea stirs in his heart to plant a tree. The poet says the nation growth will only prosper. He says that the growth of universe is possible only when you plant the tree. And when you plant the tree, it moves your heart and it will make you the desire, it will give you the desire to do it more and to make the nature prosper. When you will love the nature, definitely the nature will also love you. The same way the poet says. Now see here, the overall stanza we come to know. The basic thing, if you note down here, the theme. What purpose the poem is talking about? The nature and its beauty, importance of the environment, human relationship with nature, the three main theme. And what does he plants who plants a tree? Now see, first extract we have seen, friend to the sun and sky, home for the birds and animals. Second, a shade during the scorching heat of summer and the wet monsoon, a resource for future generation, giving resource to future generation. And third, a bounty of natural resources like sap, leaves and wood. These all are the main points what you see in this extract, and what you do when you plant a tree, what all benefits you will get. And the literary devices which are used here is metaphor. You can see the metaphor, that is the heart of the tree, unborn eyes. Metaphor means what? You might have learned the figure of speech where there are similes. Metaphor means it proceeds as if two things were one. Like here, the heart of the tree, like heart and tree seems to the unborn eyes. That is the metaphor. when two things regards to be same. The personification is what? Who in the hollow of his hand. Personification, figure of speech, means it personifies inanimate objects, means the hollow of his hand, the things which is not to be real, you personify it with something else. Same way these two literary devices are being used here. So children, go on with the theme, go on with the shortcuts, and this way, now see this picture, a hand, a tree on it. So it's your responsibility to carry the nature, it's your responsibility to protect the nature, it's your responsibility to make the tree, to grow the tree. And when you put this question to yourself, that what does he plan to plant a tree, you have to answer it. And finally you have to answer yourself that trees not only have aesthetic values, but also it has role in the welfare of human being. And it is a way that you have to save your nature, and you have to protect the tree to make it grow and give you benefits, and benefits for the future generation. I hope you all understood. If any query, you can ask. Thank you so much.